Hi, everybody, and welcome to Your City, Your County. Today, we are pleased to be meeting with Matt Murphy. Al is the, I'm sorry, Al. Matt is the Algoma City Administrator. Oh, boy.
Can be Al too. I've been called a lot worse.
Could be Al. Yeah, Al's in the other room over there.
Sure.
So, yeah, we're pleased to have you. Matt, how many years have you been on the job now? It seems like quite a few.
I've been here just starting my second year
This is your
as a city
second
administrator. I started with the city of Algoma as the director of public works in September of 2018. So a couple of years under my belt being with the city of Algoma here, and nothing but good things to say. Fantastic people, and I'm still happy to be here.
Good. That's good. And you wear a couple of hats, don't you? You're not only the administrator, but you're in charge of something else.
Yeah, I'm still the director of public works. Casey Gressel is the public works manager now. Casey's doing a lot of the day-to-day legwork, but still working with the contractor on the street utility projects. Still getting through some of that stuff, and still a lot of oversight down there of more than just the day-to-day operations. So yeah.
What all is being done with the streets now in Algoma currently?
Currently today we are through all of Frank Street coming off of Jefferson, so there's that 3 city blocks that all of the infrastructure work, and Division Street from Jefferson going north all the way to Navarino Street. We have all the stormwater, sanitary sewer, water, all of the main end, and they're to the point now, or actually crews are out there working today starting to build the road base for the project. So we're probably about 20 days or so, we should be starting to wrap things up with blacktop. It sounds like Monday concrete guys are going to start up on Frank Street. They'll put in all the curb and gutter on Frank. When they're finished there, they will move down to Division Street and Fremont Street, where we have that tore up, and get all the rest of the curb in down there. And then while they're working on the flat work, starting the flat work simultaneously, Northeast Asphalt should start to pull into town, and we'll start to turn this all black and get it paved.
Good. Do you use like a local crew that works in for the city of Algoma, or is all of this contracted?
It's all
out?
contracted out. So this all went out to bid. Actually, we went out to bid with this in 2023. This is the second phase of a 2-year project. Division Street from Jefferson to Fremont was the phase 1 of the project. That has a binder coat on it. That was the work that we performed last year. And then they started with all the infrastructure lateral or main and lateral work this spring on Division Street, and we'll wrap it completely up here. Hopefully everything's scheduled to be complete by Shanty Days weekend. We'll have everything will be black. I think the way the schedule's working out will probably be quite earlier than Shanty Days weekend. I think it should be closer to the tail end of July, but we should have it all wrapped up and back to normal, hopefully.
Good. Do you get a lot of compliments from all the residents where you rip up the roads?
Not when it's going on.
No, not at all. Huh?
No, and it's, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to that everybody, on the project, they work, you try to work through with them. It's not easy getting in and out of their driveways. It's dusty.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't just come in at 10 o'clock at night and everybody wakes up in the morning and everything is brand new. It takes some time, and we thank everybody for bearing with us, and when it's all said and done, a lot of them do come in and say thank you. It's a lot nicer now that it's done.
Yeah.
But getting to that point, it's a lot of education. It's just people don't understand, and it's trying to be out in front of it and talking to them and letting them know, this is what's going to happen and this is what's coming down the pipeline, and can you have your vehicle off your driveway because we need to pour concrete at this location, and it's education is what it really boils down to. But it for the most part, everybody understands. Everybody's willing to put a little extra effort into making it work, and they understand the outcome of it's going to be better. So yeah.
it's always nice when those projects are done.
It
It's
is.
a relief, and the road, you can say, well, that road will last for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, it's great that we're doing it. You know, I know a lot of people wish that we were fixing up more, but you know, inside the budget and what we can do, it's nice that every year that we are doing a project. There's a lot of municipalities that aren't doing anything at all, and unfortunately, a road and sidewalk, curb, you know, sanitary main and storm sewer, it doesn't fix itself. So if you're not going to go out and get after it, it's only going to get older. It's not going to get better. So
I remember growing up as a kid in a community where they would fix one thing and, you know, kind of patch over it, and then there'd be another patch over here.
Oh, sure.
And I don't remember them ever really repaving anything.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of communities in this day and age have a regular budget, and they'll say over a 30-year period we'll repave everything, but this year we're going to do, you know, depending on the size of the city, a mile or a mile and a half or something
yeah,
like that.
and that's what you know, we try to do 4 city blocks every year, laid out in our capital outlay. Some of it is, you know, sometimes we have to chisel back. Sometimes, you know, we can do a little bit more depending on some stuff has already been replaced there. Or, you know, the expensive things have gone up so much since 2020 that, you know, we had to cut back a little bit. But, you know, we work, I think, fairly well with the utilities, and you know, we're always able to get something done every year and redo a little bit of nobody understands what's, you know, underneath the road, but it's not just grinding it up and putting new blacktop down.
Yeah,
so there's a
yeah.
lot that's
Oh,
entailed
you've
before
got-
you can do that.
You've got wires and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all kinds of things
Yeah.
under there. And
So-
I'm sure sometimes it's a surprise to find out what you may have under there.
Yeah,
But I suppose they keep pretty good maps and stuff.
they
these
do.
days, Mark.
And yes, you know, that's what it's all about, is keeping good records and, you know, being able to refer back to those to find out where things were and when they were replaced, and look at the age of things. And, you know, on the sanitary and storm sewer, we can put cameras in and we can look at the inside of pipes and determine where there's problems and where there's not problems. On the water side, they basically strictly go on the age of the pipe. You can't put a camera in a pipe when it's charged with water
I
under
don't
pressure.
suppose, yeah,
Doesn't
right.
work real well.
No, probably.
So
Probably not. Your camera might get damp.
correct.
Yeah.
You know, so they're strictly going on records that they keep, you know, on that end of it, and going back and referring to, you know, the year that this valve was put in, and, you know, every year that it gets exercised, it all gets documented and where the location is, and, you know, so there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes.
Yeah. Speaking of construction, what about the break walls? There's work going to be going on there.
Yeah, so the Corps of Engineers now has a contractor, Roland Selvage. Roland Selvage is scheduled here to start the 17th, this coming Monday. They did start to do some preliminary work, and you'll start to see on the south break wall, there's a gate up there at times that it will be closed. Pedestrians will not be able to be on the south wall, but they're going to start there and encapsulate with steel sheeting the whole south break wall, and then once that's encapsulated, there will be a new concrete deck poured on the top of it. So here again, there's going to be a little pain and suffering to get through. Everybody I know likes to take a walk out to the south pier and cool off a little bit on hot summer days, but our plan is to work with Roland Selvage and the Corps of Engineers, and at the end of this whole project, we're going to have a better looking and more accessible south break wall. So,
Oh, that'll be nice.
yeah.
That'll be great. And it takes time, but that's a good thing. And with the strength of Algoma being such a vital vacation area, and for fishermen and just people who like to walk, you know, the beaches, I think that would be a wonderful thing to.
And it's
have
going to
complete.
be, I mean, it's going to be a great accent to, you know, Crescent Beach is fantastic, the amount of people that use it. Unfortunately, we haven't had a real great spring here in Algoma. It's been a little cooler. We've dealt with a lot of rain days, but it's amazing still the amount of people that you still see on the beach. It's fantastic. You know, give a shout out to the Friends of Crescent Beach, the work that they do down there, and always looking to improve it, to you know, make it better. make it safer environmentally, looking at, stormwater runoff, and the work that they do is, my hat goes off to that group. The Friends of Crescent Beach put so much time and effort onto that beach, and it's paid its dividends. You drive by on a hot day, and the amount of people that you see down there is fantastic. The amount of people it brings into the city of Algoma, and as many as the locals that enjoy to go walk it every morning or in the evening, and get down there themselves and cool off a little bit. The people that it brings in from out of town, it's fantastic. I love to see the amount of people that we have down here on our beach here in Algoma is great.
Yeah. I don't know of many other communities that have that size of a beach,
Yeah.
particularly on the Great Lakes. Maybe Manitowoc, Two Rivers, but other than that, in the heart of the community, to have that is
No, it's great, and right on Highway 42. I mean, you really can't miss it. If you come into town traveling east on Highway 54, I mean, you go too far, you're going to end up on the beach. So it's great to see, and the amount of people that maybe don't stop, just happen to be going through, and the the phone calls and the things that you hear on the street. We just happen to be going through Algoma, and what's that big huge cruise ship out there? Or the amount of people that they see on the beach. I hear a lot about it, and it's fantastic for the city that we have that asset here.
Yeah.
Right in the city of Algoma, you can't have a better location. It's kind of it's far east as you can be in the city of Algoma's Crescent Beach, but it's still like the center of the city. Everybody that congregates down there is great. So.
I remember driving, having a passenger in my car, a lady, many years ago, and she was from out west, the western part of the country, and I don't know that she'd ever seen a Great Lake. And her reaction when she came down here was, "Oh my gosh, look at, holy cow!"
Yeah.
So it was quite an impressive show for her. I know.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, and it's you hear things along the way, and being out and talking to people, and the little ones, and sometimes it's some of the older ones will, "Oh, the ocean was so beautiful today," and
Yeah.
you just kind of shrug your shoulders, and
Yeah.
it can be what you want to be, but it's not the ocean. It's Lake Michigan,
And they don't have sharks. They don't have octopuses.
we don't. So.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, if you find a jellyfish on Crescent Beach, we have something to be concerned about.
Yes, yes. Haven't seen any out there yet.
Yeah.
You mentioned briefly about the boats and the yachts that are coming in. That's another big thing this year, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is year 2 with the cruise ships that we had. We have 2 of them under our belt already this year. We had one, in fact, just this Tuesday. There was a Viking Cruise Lines in town just this past Tuesday. They were here at 7 in the morning. I think they left about 3 o'clock. It was one of their shorter days that they were in the city. But I think they had about 270 guests, 280 guests on the cruise line. I'm pretty sure a good percentage of them all came off the cruise line. Did some walking around looking in Algoma. I know a lot of them now. This is the second one this year, and even back to last year and moving forward. A lot of them are, Von Steel, I think, does a great thing. They do, kind of like a wine tasting in a little tour. And then same thing with Anape Tap Room. They do a beer and cheese thing, and I think that they have a pretty good turnout of guests off the cruise lines that stop in there and kind of go through the little thing that they have set up for them. And it's really nice to see the amount of people walking through town.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a growing thing as we see more, more years, of cruise ships, and maybe more cruise ships even coming.
Yeah. I mean, we've had nothing but positive feedback. Viking Cruise Lines, they contract with a shore excursion company out of Milwaukee, and both Viking and their shore excursions, that they set up the trips to Lambeau Field and the bus rides up to Door County, or they'll get you, if you need to just go to the grocery store or something, they set that up, and the Chamber of Commerce has been fantastic. Down there helping out and pointing people in the direction of what are you looking to do, or what, if there's something we can help you with here in the city of Algoma. And it's been nothing but fantastic positive feedback, and the people that are just driving in Algoma, the day trip, let's go, in Algoma and see the cruise ship out front.
Wow.
Is
Yeah.
pretty neat. The
How
amount of
often do
people.
we see that?
Yeah.
You know?
There's people that just taking a ride and they spend an hour, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours in Algoma, and just we're in town. Let's go look around, and they come to see the cruise ship and leave with a smile on their face,
Sure.
spending the day.
And it has to help our entire area, I'm sure, as well.
It does. I think it truly does. It helps the local businesses right here in town. The grocery store has been beneficial from the cruise ship. So I think it's really nice to see it. It helps out, the city of Algoma. They use our marina to get everybody on shore and back out to the boat. The cruise ship doesn't obviously come right in here.
Yeah.
But they have tender boats that about every 10 minutes there's one on shore dropping people off and taking people back out to their cruise ship. And, it's been fantastic. Like I said, just last Tuesday we had our second one. Number 3 now, we're done until July. I think July 12th and the 25th are the next 2 cruises that we have coming into town for cruise days. And, looking forward to it. It's been really good for the city.
Yeah. Do you get good feedback from the cruise lines themselves?
We have been. We've had through Viking directly back here that everything has been very successful. They've been happy. They've gotten a lot of feedback from guests. The different stops that they make on the Great Lakes. A lot of them are, boy, it's really nice in Algoma. And, Viking's been sharing that back here with us. We've now had 2 people from outside that have been on the Viking cruise lines and have came back to Algoma and stayed here in Algoma.
Cool.
Made a long weekend of it and got a hotel room stayed. They had such a nice time when they were here on their day trip from the cruise. They scheduled a trip back here and came over and spent the weekend or a couple days over here. So that's really nice to see. The work that the chambers put into it, the cities put into it, all the businesses, and just that's probably our biggest thing that we hear is how friendly everybody is here in Algoma. Friendly Algoma. And it's, did the groundwork or set some baseline. People come back from, a different state, just come over here because they spent 4 or 5 hours in Algoma, and let's go back and spend some more time. We want to see more and talk to some other people. So
Yeah.
it's really neat.
I remember in the history of the area and specifically Door County as well, that a lot of these cruise ships, that was how the people originally came up here, on vacations and stuff. So this is, we think of this as being something, new, and it hasn't been done for many years, but, years and years and years ago, even before I was born,
Sure.
there was that kind of activity. So
Yeah.
it's good to see it coming back.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
That's
So-
good. A few other topics that we'd like to get into today, we
Sure.
still have a bit of time here, is there's some new playground equipment coming to one of the parks, or is here already?
It's here. It's installed. Yes.
Great.
So yeah, down at Perry Field, the city was able to work, with the city council and Parks and Rec committee. We were able to put in a whole new playground facility. So a lot of what was existing down there in the northeast corner of Perry Field was removed. The Public Works guys took all the mulch and all the landscape fabric out of there, and we put up a whole new playground jungle gym facility that's been fantastic. It's got a 3-story slide on it and a couple smaller slides, and there's a lot to do. It's pretty interesting down there just to look at it, and wow, it's really neat to have one of our parks.
I'll have to go over there and try it.
Well, you definitely have to go
Yeah,
try
okay.
it. You have to go up to the top and go down the big slide.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of the thing. If you're gonna go look at it, you got to at least
Oh,
try the
yeah,
big slide.
yeah.
I mean, you can't go out in the little one, right?
Yeah. Do they have a soft spot where you land, or?
Oh, you'll be okay, Bob.
You think so?
Sure. You got some wood chips to fall down on the bottom there. We'll
Okay.
make sure you're not hurt when you come
Okay,
down.
that's
So.
good.
Yeah.
We'll have an ambulance maybe standing by. Just in case.
You won't need that. You'll be
You
all
don't
right.
think so?
No, we'll get you through it. And the next thing that's down there, this couple of things that Casey has really worked hard on, and it has gotten through the Parks and Rec Committee and able to benefit some of our parks here in the city. The next thing is we've spent, or going to be here, our tennis courts are all getting resurfaced. That's supposed to be scheduled late August that they're going to be here is the earliest we could get them here. But we're resurfacing our tennis courts, and then we're moving our basketball hoops around, so you'd be more of a, it won't be quite a full court, but they won't be right next to each other. They'll be across from it. But then also they're going to put lines on to gain a couple extra pickleball courts.
I was just going to ask
Here
you
in the
about
city,
pickleball.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, so we've added pickleball down to the gym in the youth club. That's open during the day. Some of the seniors are going down there, and at all ages are using. Pickleball has been the big craze lately. So between up at the school at the wellness center, and now we've added a couple pickleball courts that are open to members to use down at the youth club. Now we'll be adding this probably late August, early September, a couple additional pickleball courts that'll be outdoors up at Perry Field. So and that'll take place over on the south side of the park, where the tennis courts currently are. So
Okay.
there's a lot of people that are excited for that coming down the pipeline, and I promise it's coming. Just a matter of working with the contractor that's coming to do the surfacing on it, and then it'll be painted with some pickleball courts on. So it's pretty exciting.
Will you be down there personally shoveling those off in the winter?
No, I won't be down. We won't be shoveling them off in the winter.
No?
We'll close it for a couple months and get
Okay.
ready for spring.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
maybe January and February.
Yeah.
Other than
So-
that, I'm
Yeah, no,
sure it'll be.
Another thing that's coming down the Perry Field 100-year anniversary is right around the corner. It's scheduled for July 27th. There's kind of a committee that's been formed. I know they have a kind of an all-day, pretty neat event. I don't have all the devil in the details yet, but it's going to start earlier in the morning. I know they're going to have a pickleball tournament right across the street from Perry Field. I think they're talking about having some horseshoe stuff and dunk tank and kind of an all-day family event. I think there's a lot of people looking forward to the 100-year anniversary of Perry Field.
Yeah.
Like I said, July 27th, and look forward for more details coming for that.
Yeah, can you imagine all the changes that have taken place over the last 100 years, particularly when we think about pickleball and tennis and all.
Yeah,
those
100
other
years
things.
ago, I don't think they were talking about pickleball courts.
Probably not. No.
So
Uh-uh.
yeah.
But it's still being utilized by
Yeah.
so many people.
Yes,
That's
it has
great.
been. So
That's great. The upcoming tourist season, obviously we talked about, the ships that are coming in. Do you see a pretty good season coming in for tourism in general?
I think so. It's our weather hasn't been fantastic here. I don't want to say we're missing June. We look back at February and say, boy, we had some really nice days in February, and I feel like we're paying for it a little bit now in June when it should be nice. But a lot of raindrops to dodge in between here, late May and into June. But the weather's shaping up, it's coming around here, warming up. Fishing has been really good from everybody that I talked to. Fishing's getting better, and I think tourist season is going to be a really successful year. There's a lot of things going on. The chamber has a lot of events, and I touched base on a couple of additional ones. But Shanty Days in August, Wine Fest in September, Kite Fest. There's a lot of real interesting things. I think Kite Fest last year was one of the best ever. The amount of people here was fantastic. When I see people down and I see people on the beach and how nice it is. Last year during Kite Fest, I don't know if you could see the beach. There was too many people on it.
Too many
not,
kites?
Not too many. It's
No.
it's great to see the amount of people
Yeah.
that gathered here in Algoma for Kite Fest last year, and I think they're looking forward for another real successful year for it. So it's a one-day event, very family-oriented, and I'm excited for it coming too. So I think summer is going to be a real good. We'll turn this weather around here a little bit, and I think
Yeah.
you'll start to see people rolling into town.
It seems like we get rainy days and then sunny and then it's cloudy and all of this is in one day.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess you can get any kind of weather you
A lot
want.
of people that say if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. It's
Yeah,
going to change,
yeah,
and
I've heard
boy, it's
that,
sure been a
yeah.
spring like that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
moving briefly on to the lighthouse, I understand there's some painting that's going to be going on there.
Well, we're still working through it. Yes, the lighthouse does need to be painted. That is one of the big things. Mayor Steve Lautenbach now is working. He has some people kind of in the pipeline that are willing to try to move that project along and come up with some funding of different things that we can do. It's one of the things that I'm personally working with the Corps of Engineers, and we'll be working with Roland Salvage now that they're on the ground, getting started on this south break wall and then moving into the north break wall. But yes, that is one thing. We've looked at a couple different options in what can be done. We do realize it does need to be painted, and it will be painted. We'll get it done. We're just trying to get to the details of when that's going to start and when we'll have a finished product back out there.
And I have to ask, I'm sorry, any idea what color it might be?
It'll be red.
Oh, goody.
I normally would say, well, we'll have to talk to the city council on that, but I think it'll be red. I don't think
Pretty
they'll.
sure it'll be red this year.
I'd find it hard to believe that the mayor and the city council is going to change the color.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't that
feel
be
pretty
a shock?
pretty confident that it'll stay
Yes,
red.
yes.
Not the off red pinkish color it is
No,
now.
no.
We're going to get it back to red.
It's going to be red.
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't see like a green.
No, I don't think
color.
we'll see green.
Probably not, no. And my final question, and this comes up, it seems like every time we talk, how about the new housing development near Denny's?
We're right around the corner now. I feel like we're headed for the finish line. Tomorrow night, actually Thursday, 6 o'clock, we have Plan Commission meets to go through the plans. We'll see if that all goes well. We have a set of plans now from our developer from Commonwealth, and we'll get through that with the Plan Commissions. Plan Commission, they'll have some meetings for it. The developer will be here in person at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and that goes through. The next I guess phase then is it goes through the Plan Commission and gets okayed by the City Council. We're still on their schedule, trying to get a shovel in the ground here in July, hopefully, and start to see this with a tentative people starting to move in July of 2025.
Wow,
So-
that's less than, just about a year from now.
Yeah, so a
Wonderful.
40 unit apartment building. I'm excited for it. There's some hurdles I think we still need to get over, but I think they're starting to become shorter hurdles or smaller hurdles. I think they're things that we can get through and get this project underway. If people don't remember, it started back with the blighting of almost a whole city block and raising the houses that needed to be raised and getting through the process to where we are today. The infrastructure work that happened late last year to a green lot to what we have currently now to start to see it tore back up and start the building process.
Yeah, so we'll see it from what it had been to grass and then new construction.
Yeah. So
Good.
I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of people in the city that are excited for it, and we'll get there.
Okay, well, I hope you'll have a
So-
good groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's going to be a very successful project. Like I said, a couple short hurdles to get over, and I think that's something that the Plan Commission. Hopefully, we can work through some of those tomorrow night and come up with some alternatives. But we'll get there. So.
Would you believe that we have run through a half an hour?
A half
mean,
hour, and
just-
Bob, I probably talked a lot, but I have one last thing that I want to
okay.
put out there
Oh,
for
good,
everybody.
good.
The Algoma Fire Department is celebrating 150 years of the Algoma Fire Department this year.
So they'd been alive for 50 years after Perry, and then
50 years
Perry-
prior to
Perry
Perryfield. Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
they have a celebration actually scheduled for June 29th here in the city of Algoma. They have a parade that's going to follow the Shanty Days parade route. So it'll start up on the west end of town on Fremont Street, come all the way down, and then end at Legion Park. And then they have a couple different bands, turn into a festival down on Legion Park for the rest of the afternoon into the evening. Pink Houses is playing, I think, at 6 p.m. And the Algoma Fire Department will be there. They're asking for, fire departments anywhere in the area, anywhere in the state. any antique apparatus to put in the parade, or any businesses here in the city of Algoma to put something in the parade. And you can call City Hall here in Algoma if you need any additional details. But I think there's a lot of people looking forward to June 29th. I think it's great for the city of Algoma to celebrate 150 years.
Yes.
I still have a fire department, and the work that the volunteers do and spend on that department. I think it's going to be a great event.
And that's this month on June 29th?
June 29th, I think it's going to be the nicest day of June. I think the sun will be shining.
Absolutely.
And so if mark on your calendars anytime, get in place 11:30 for the parade that come down Fremont Street and right through downtown, follow the Shanty Days parade route,
Okay.
and end up down at Legion Park, and stay as long as you'd like. There's going to have a lot of family friendly things going on down there. I know they have some bounce houses coming, dunk tank that I think they're probably going to ask you, Al, if you'll be, or sorry, Al, now I'm calling you Al, Bob, I'm sorry.
Al's a popular guy.
Al might be sitting in the dunk
Yeah.
tank, we'll see.
Yeah,
So,
wouldn't that be great?
but yeah, so I think it'll be a great event.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, 2 big parades in the same year.
2 big parades in the same year.
That's all
So
right.
June, and then we'll give you July off, and we'll come right back at you and ask you to come down for the Shanty Days parade in August.
Sounds
So,
great.
yeah.
Okay. Well, in case you didn't know, we've been speaking with Matt Murphy. Matt, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate
It's
it.
always a pleasure. Matt is the Algoma City Administrator here in Algoma, and that's going to do it for our program today for Your City, Your County. And we hope that you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. For the Your City, Your County, I'm Bob Gray. Have a great day, everybody. So long.